94% of customers, if affected by 2020, by COVID, their supply chain, their logistics affected and impacted. But all the changes we saw happening around the world. So how do you come on that number, 94%? What does it mean?
Well, I think that people are going to be dissecting the causes for supply chain interruption due to COVID for a long time. And I think that, certainly there are a lot of, reasons for the supply chain interruptions. We can point to, the need in the United States for more people to drive trucks. That is one big reason for supply chain interruptions. Better forecasting needs is one reason for supply chain interruptions. Right now on the news, automakers are facing a big problem due to the lack of microchips because of the supply chain was shifted over to for chip manufacturers to gaming when the automotive sector went down. And so, but one aspect of supply chain in terms of company interruptions that I see is, and I've written about this before in my newsletters, is what I call the supply chain digital divide. Mm-hmm. And it is not just between companies that are, let's say, the haves and the have-nots, but also within companies themselves. Mm-hmm. And so, when we met on LinkedIn, you informed me that you enjoy talking to people, which I think is great. And I have the opportunity to just have conversations with a lot of people as well. So in 2020, I had 3 really, really insightful conversations with 3 different companies. And I want to tell you about you and your audience about these 3 insightful conversations. So one conversation was with a major grocery chain here in the United States, whose systems comprised of 3 legacy mainframe computers that did not talk to each other. And their supply chain was hampered by the fact that the company was supported by 3 legacy mainframe systems that did not talk to each other. So they had a lack of dynamicity in their supply chain because they have 3 mainframe systems that don't talk to each other. Another grocery chain does not use barcoding to receive goods into their warehouse. My goodness. I mean, so they do that all manually. Mm-hmm. And certainly that hampers their supply chain capabilities from a throughput standpoint, from an accuracy standpoint, right? And another company is a media type company, and their order processing system is written in a 20-year-old dead software language.
That's not uncommon. That's not uncommon. A lot of
right. So as you can imagine, now internally within those companies, and they all have websites, mm-hmm. but internally within those companies, what kind of conversations must they be having with departments and people who would like to do more advanced things and get more analytics and more business intelligence and implement more advanced technologies, but can't, mm-hmm. Because they are hampered by old technology. So there is the supply, you know, there is the supply chain digital divide within those companies. Aside from, I think, the supply chain digital divide that exists just across the expanse of all companies, you know, let's say across the country, small companies are, you know, just too small to embrace some of the more advanced technologies, and are lucky that they can just get their enterprise resource planning systems free of dirty data, let alone even think that they could use something like AI.